Oh wow, Bullet, what do you know? This, I believe, was Tupac's last movie. And this has Mickey Rourke in it as well. I've heard really, really good things about this dark, kind of gritty crime thriller from the mid-2000s. 9/6. Julian Temple directed. I know the name. But yeah, Bullet. Really cool to see that. Haven't seen it yet, but you know what I mean. Taps. George C. Scott, Timothy Hutton, Tom Cruise, Sean Penn. Great cast. Looks like it takes place at like a West Point-like military school, academy. Maurice Jarre. Interesting. George C. Scott and Tom Cruise. I mean, that's... Yeah, I'll have to give that a whirl someday. Oh yeah, Shovel Knight. I've not played this yet, but I picked this up for a couple bucks when I saw it on the Wii U here. I know now there's like a definitive Switch version, which I probably... Hey, I might sell this and try to fund that definitive Switch version, if I'm thinking of the right thing. This actually has the soundtrack as well, even though it's digital, so this may be used. But yeah, I've not played this yet, and this game has my name all over it. Retro-style, DuckTales-inspired, Mega Man-inspired, 8-bit, modern retro platformer, man. I mean, shit. How haven't I played Shovel Knight? This is cool. I picked this up I picked up a huge lot of martial arts films a few years ago. A lot of stuff that you'll never see. I'll never see ever again, likely. And this is a documentary on Tibet, which I was really intrigued by, so much so that I had to pick it up. Yeah, it'd be interesting watching this at some point and seeing what that's all about. 3-pack, Charles Bronson 3-pack, The Mechanic, Messenger of Death, Assassination. 3 films I haven't seen. If you saw some of my recent videos where I talk about Bronson, I watched 10 to Midnight recently, and I admitted that I haven't really dug into the man's filmography, especially in the 70s and 80s, where he was pumping out action movies. And as an action junkie, it's weird that I haven't gotten to him yet, but I'm slowly making my way. The Fourth Dimension. This is a weird 2000s independent sci-fi film that's being compared to Twilight Zone and David Lynch. So, sci-fi mystery film and Darren Aronofsky. So, interesting. That's why I picked it up, because it's got a lot of good awards and praise and quotes on the back. So, yeah, hopefully this is pretty cool. PC game. The Curse of Monkey Island. Yeah, that's awesome. I grew up playing one of the Monkey Island games when I was playing like Pajama Sam and Spy Fox and all those sorts of things too. But this one was a little harder, and phenomenal artwork on this thing. Look at that. Hopefully you guys could see it when I'm showing you. But yeah, LucasArts, Curse of Monkey Island. All those games are fun. Another You, which is the last collaboration between Pryor and Gene Wilder, which is cool. I've heard it's not that great, unfortunately. And Loose Cannons, Gene Hackman and Dan Aykroyd. So a couple really obscure sort of buddy films here that I'm really looking forward to checking out. Yeah, Another You came out in 91, so wow. J. Rue the... This is a hip-hop CD. The only one in here. One of my favorite albums from 94. I might as well talk about it, man. Anytime I can get the opportunity to talk hip-hop, which I would assume not many of you are into. But 94, golden year in hip-hop. J. Rue the Damager. This is hardcore New York, gritty as street hip-hop. Not violent, though. That's what's cool about it. It's more conscious, but he's a conscious rapper, but he... You know, whereas other people at the time were talking about putting a cap in your ass and killing you, he's going to do it with his intellect and with his knowledge. And this CD actually really inspired my own hip-hop and rap style when I was 14, 15. That conscious, I'll f*** you up with my lyrics sort of thing. So J. Rue the Damager, DJ Premier produced this whole album top to bottom. I have goosebumps. Go check out Come Clean. Type in J. Rue, Come Clean. Tell me that shit ain't dope. Still in 2019. Sorry, I just got really, really into that. Because that is my shit. I love that album. RKO 281. This is like the story of Citizen Kane, and Liev Schreiber plays Orson Welles, and yeah, that's why I picked it up. I bet y'all like it more than Citizen Kane. And I don't hate Citizen Kane. I just think it's a little overhyped. It changed cinema in a lot of ways, but it's kind of a boring movie. So hopefully that's not. Alright, getting down to the bottom here, guys. I got like 10, 11 more movies here and games. King of Fighters 11. Awesome. SNK Fighters, I mean, you can't go wrong with SNK Fighters. I could bust this out with anybody, anybody I'm hanging out with on any night, and we'll have some fun with it. These are Any SNK fighting games are fantastic. Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, you name it. Samurai Showdown, which I showed earlier. Great stuff, man. Dead Fish. Starring Gary Oldman. Billy Zane and Robert Carlyle. Okay? Sure. Looks like an English Snatch-esque sort of crime movie. Okay, yeah, sure. Alright, yeah, alright. War of the Monsters, plastered with Goodwill stickers. I wonder how the condition on this is. It's beat up. I shouldn't have picked this up. But it'll probably work, and it seems like, yeah, just a monster mash. So, I've never played this one. It seems sort of like the Godzilla games, but with, like, King Kong sort of things, and, like, Transformers sort of things. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. Color of Night, Bruce Willis. This is one I haven't seen. This is more of, like, an, there was a lot of these sort of films in the early 90s, like, erotic thrillers, and this is one of them, I believe, that has some action in it, but it's not an action film. It's a long... Who directed this? Richard Rush. Yeah, it's over 2 hours long, and it's like, yeah, it seems like a psychological, erotic thriller sort of thing. I don't know much about it. Oh, shit. This is cool. Another hip-hop related thing here. Murs316 was a rapper I listened to quite a bit in the early to mid-2000s. He was from the Justice League, you know, with... Ninth Wonder. In fact, all of Murs' albums, I believe, were produced by Ninth Wonder, at least the ones that I listened to. And there was a track on one of the albums called Walk Like a Man, and it was a very cinematic sort of story that told, that had 3 different beats, and each one had a different vibe, but it all wound into the same story, sort of like Tarantino-esque. And really cool. I guess this is the film based on that song. So, really cool. Murs316 and 9. Moonchild. I mean, it has a giant moon and a man holding a machine gun. Like I said, folks, sometimes that's all you need. Path to War. This is, I believe, one of Frankenheimer's late films, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Frankenheimer. 2003. Was this before Reindeer Games? I know Reindeer Games was his last movie, but this was an HBO movie that he did probably right before that. So, and then he sadly passed away, but Michael Gambon, Donald Sutherland, Alec Baldwin, Path to War. I love Frankenheimer. One of my favorite directors. I don't care what genre he does, he nails it. Usually. Well, pretty much all the time. Maverick. Richard Donner's Maverick. Mel Gibson, Jodie Foster, James Garner. One of the few... I thought that was a bong. Like a giant bong on the cover. James Garner and Mel Gibson in a Richard Donner film. This is based, I think, on an old TV show, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's like an action western. Haven't seen it yet. I know I'll enjoy it. So yeah, Maverick. Under Pressure. Charles Sheen, forgive me, and Mare Winningham. Under Pressure. Craig R. Baxley. Ooh, Craig R. Baxley. Didn't he do like Action Jackson and some other action films, even bigger ones that I'm failing to mention? Either way, that's why I picked it up, because of the director and because of Charlie Sheen. Last 2. We're not really going out with a bang here either. So, Tough to Kill from Joe D'Amato, who his horror flicks I just can't quite get into. They're surreal and weird and atmospheric, but the stories just, they don't do much for me. But this is Tough to Kill. This seems like his Dirty Dozen ripoff, there were a lot of those in Italy. I'm throwing shit at this point. And last but not least, possibly least, I don't know, Excellent Cadavers. Chaz Palminteri and F. Murray Abraham. One is a man of honor, one is a man of justice, only one will survive. So it seems to be a cops and robbers sort of movie, like the mob versus the cops. And, yeah, it's being compared to The Godfather. Well, Ricky Tognazzi. Yeah, know nothing about this. Excellent Cadavers. Holy shit. Okay, so, wow. That took longer than expected. This is probably going to be multi-parts. I hope you guys enjoyed this, because I enjoyed this. I had a good time, so hopefully that translates to you guys. Just literally digging through a giant box, dusty as shit. It's been in the closet for years, and I decided to kind of dig in and see what was in there, because a lot of things I forget I pick up. You know, there's always a reason why I pick up films. I pretty much justified every film that I talked about today, Endgame and everything else, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to give the video a thumbs up, and I'll continue doing them for you guys. And if you're new to the channel and want to see more videos like it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as well as the little bell for notifications. This is weird not having the table here. I'd love to know what you guys thought about some of these movies. I know it's impossible to keep track of all the ones I talked about, but if there are some films in here that I didn't seem to know a lot about, please feel free to leave those in the comments below and say, watch this now. And maybe we can get a discussion going on some of the movies that I did know something about. So that would be awesome to get that discussion rolling. Anyway, guys, I will see you next time. Bored Cyborg out. I have to clean all these up now. Yay!